So what's fresh on 2023? A lot of things is the answer. We are making an extreme effort to actually not only reinforce what we have delivered as a LTS on 22, the DXP 22, both on the ACP edition as well as the Open edition, but also we're bringing together a lot of new things into the 22 release. So a little bit of a recap: why Neptune software? Why do we exist? We exist because this is an act out of frustration with ACP complexity. So we have created a toolset that aims to make ACP simpler. We focus on any business process, on any device, mobile or desktop. We are compliant with S4. We have the most recent certification for S4HANA 2022, and we are supporting from NetWeaver 701 up to N731, and that's something I'll touch upon as well, up to the latest version of S4HANA. We are certified as well for ACP BTP, and our main goal is to bring functionality and tool sets that help you, our customers and partners, to implement end-to-end solutions that makes it easy onboarding to your end users, simplifying the way they interact with ACP and other systems, even faster and easier development with no code and low code, and in the end you get a better ACP performance, not in the sense that we accelerate ACP, but in the sense that we aim to make ACP way more accessible to everyone. How do we do it? We do it through 5 major points: digital experience, enterprise mobility. So we still very focused on the mobility side. We have extremely good top of the line offline capabilities, and we continue to do so, investing in that. We have digital experience, one single point of access to all end users, compliance with running with the ACP stack, latest versions of UI5 with Horizon themes as well, WCAG accessibility features, capabilities with 2.1a and AA, API-based integration, rapid application development with a very strong focus on no code and low code, which we have reinforced a lot. And that's kind of also to this webinar to tell you more about what we are delivering today as well. And we keep on reinforcing that you can run this on premise or any cloud, including ACP BTP. In case you don't know, if you're on the RISE program for S4HANA, you can also use the RISE credits to actually run Neptune and host Neptune inside ACP BTP with Cloud Foundry service and the database service, which you can actually utilize your RISE credits to actually run on it. And on that, we also created one of the add-ons, which is a OData connector, so that you can have, even you're running on public cloud, you can actually connect directly to your S4HANA system, utilizing annotations, CDS views, etc., out of the box into a no-code application development. And that's also something new that I would like to touch upon. What sets us apart is that we have very deep ACP technology knowledge, both for the traditional ACP with the ABAP stack, with ABAP Steampunk, ABAP on the cloud. We have that knowledge. We have knowledge of ACP mesh events. We have ACP BTP knowledge. So we understand the stack, and we therefore makes us combine that technology knowledge both within the ACP world as well as outside of the ACP world with the industry expertise, because we know the business processes. We enable to create tools that make possible for customers to create end-to-end solutions that not only focus on transactions, but focus on processes at large and have a very strong focus on the outcome, meaning that the end result, the digital solution that you're building with Neptune, is the best fit purpose for your end users. How you get there is really the tooling that we make accessible for you. And as in a way to reinforce this, we have created more templates, more building blocks that can really help you on very fast deliveries. So a lot of accelerators, and actually more will also come. Okay, release timeline. If you've been looking at our community, you have seen that we have released now a patch 5 for DXP 22 for the open edition, and on that release we have highlighted that we have a slight change on how we are pushing content through the patching. And I know that sometimes you might feel that we are providing a lot of patches, and the patching strategy is not just about bug fixing. The patching strategy, if you're going to see the release notes for patch 5, you're going to see that there is a lot of new things. So what is the goal with Neptune? We don't want for you to have to wait 1 year to get even more value on top of your already existing runtimes. So what we're doing is that our patching brings a lot of new innovation, new tooling, but we want to accelerate that even further, but at the same time, without giving you a overhead in terms of operations to keep updating your system. Therefore, what we have done is that we have released on patch 4 on March 2023 of the open edition a add-on framework. The add-on framework is a way for us to be able to deploy through the marketplace new tools, new add-ons to your runtime. These add-ons will fit right into your cockpit. They will not be an app that you open. It's a new tool. But all the updates to that tool, they come through the marketplace. And it's voluntary to update from the marketplace. The marketplace will tell you if your current version of this add-on, is it updated, not updated, and with one click, you get it updated. And that will basically reduce the number of times that you will have to have testing of your applications because you put in a patch, etc. So the patches are almost risk-free. Obviously, if there's breaking changes, we'll tell you that there are breaking changes and where you should test. But if there's no breaking changes, you can just run them as they are. But we bring non-destructive new innovation, new tooling as well on the patches. But through the add-on framework, this is completely separate from the patch. So the add-on package that comes through the marketplace, and we're going to get a lot of them on Q2, Q3, and we're going to touch base on who are they and what do they bring, will be given in a way that they will be backwards compatible. So when we have DXP23 LTS towards the end of the year, this add-ons will seamlessly fit in there. The marketplace will take care of making sure that your system cannot be patched or cannot have that new add-on package installed by filtering which versions of the add-on are available to your runtime version. So I strongly advise you to upgrade for the DXP22 if you have not done that yet, for you to schedule it, to do it, because you're going to get a lot of value out of it. Not just from the runtime itself, but by the add-ons framework that will come into it. So this is a slight change on our release strategy, and we keep our promises of having one LTS release a year, but in between, you're going to get a lot of value through the marketplace with the add-on framework. So I would strongly reinforce this message. So what capabilities are making app development easier today? So rather than you just this webinar be thinking, okay, what is on the roadmap for 23, and we have a very interesting roadmap for 23, we are actually pushing a lot of the things that would have to wait until the end of the year for 23 into add-ons. And these add-ons can be added now to your release. So you don't need to wait. You can use them now and you can leverage on them. But it's sometimes not very easy for us to tell you, and then more than telling you, demonstrating what is new and what is available today. There is a substantial number of customers that are maybe because of operational reasons haven't upgraded to the DXP22, or they're still lagging behind on older releases. It's important that you upgrade. because we are giving you a lot of new functionality for free. All upgrades in Neptune are free. If you're a customer, all upgrades are free. So there is no reason why you shouldn't upgrade. So what is new? What is actually already existing on DXP 22 that you can have today that you didn't have on previous releases? So you have the foundation for a CI/CD deployment. So we have in us the development packages, the way we aggregate all artifacts, and then you can connect it to a Git repository, and this can be GitHub, can be Gitbucket, any Git, both on premise as well as on cloud, so that you can create automation, automated testing. You can have a good CI/CD strategy with it. We'll be through the marketplace provide you as well with a testing approach framework for you to put there with test scripts and with a library that you can use in order to improve your automated testing. In case you don't know how to do it, we'll help you create a strategy around it as well. But the development packages and Git is the foundation for the marketplace. The marketplace is not just for us, Neptune, to provide you something. This is also for within an organization, you can publish complete packages, meaning that you can have complete solutions with table data, with configuration, with launchpads, with applications, with API definitions, test data, scripts, etc., in one package. The version management will be done directly by Git, and when you publish to the marketplace, you can publish publicly or privately. So if you publish privately, all your systems that are connected to that same account on the DXP portal, and you do that by just logging on the marketplace, you're going to automatically get all of the items that are on the marketplace, but they are private. Imagine the following. You have a central IT that wants to deploy solutions to different business units that run different runtimes. How can you do this? And this, by the way, this is both valid for SAP Edition and Open Edition. The marketplace is present in both. You can publish privately, and if a system that has a connection to your account by having a log on the marketplace will automatically see all of the updates, both from public items, but also from private items. The same thing will happen to how you publish applications or mockups from the app builder over to your runtime. And we have some videos explaining that on the community as well as on our YouTube channel, so check that out. We are able to then bridge systems. You can have central solution deployed by IT where the different business units can just go there and consume them and get updated by it. So we simplify your operations greatly. Why don't we just show you that? So if I go here to, and this is the Open Edition, we have here embedded into the cockpit the highlights from the marketplace, and you have embedded the marketplace. The marketplace has not only products, newest products, we have e-learning content, you have application that has been published through the app builder, you have SAP templates, and also we have partner solutions. So if you're a partner of Neptune, you can publish your solution here. This will give you an exposure to all SAP and to all Neptune customers that are both on SAP Edition and on Open Edition. That's what I meant. They will be able to see and try out your solutions and see the data on your solutions. You have application building blocks, and of course, you have the add-ons. So when you install an add-on, for example, the system copy add-on here, you can see I currently install, I'm on the right version. You can see some details on it. And when you install it, and because this is an add-on, this will be added to your cockpit. So these are development tools. So what are kind of add-ons we'll have? As you can see already, we have here quite a few of them. There is more of this. There is content management with Microsoft Azure Blob. You have Neptune forms. You're going to have Neptune surveys very soon as well. I'll touch base on that. You have Neptune connectors with connector to Salesforce.com, ServiceNow, direct database connections, HANA database connections, OData connectors to systems that are providing S4 OData services, being S4 or not. You can actually get that. But from the marketplace in itself, you have so many things here that you can leverage on. Code snippets, as I said, the partner solutions, e-learning content. You can have the WCAG demo capabilities here with embedded video telling how you should structure your strategy for WCAG with Neptune. You even have here the video for DXP 22 LTS release. So this is your hub. This is the place where you can actually publish and you consume everything that is Neptune. You can, you're free to post any questions throughout the presentation if you want to. Better developer experience, DX. So we have a lot of new capabilities within the platform, within the cockpit. We are improving the efficiency of the developers, both for no code as well as low code. We have provided as well the event-driven architecture, so you can have an open edition runtime linked to a Redis server, so that can be also linked to ACP mesh events, for example, so that if something happens on your ERP system through ACP mesh, you can actually listen to that event and then trigger a workflow, a server-side script, or a notification to an application, for example. So you can really utilize Neptune for connecting the on-premise with ACP world, with non-ACP world if you want to, or connecting it to any system that is that has APIs on the ACP API Business Hub, for example. And this is something quite important that all of our customers understand, is that it's a given for Neptune that ACP BTP is a de facto technology platform from the vast majority of the ACP customers. So Neptune is positioning ourselves to be the perfect sidekick for ACP BTP if you have that strategy, by being able to, for example, utilizing the identity provider from ACP BTP, which uses a SAML protocol, or utilizing the integration suite, or utilizing BPM, RPA functionality that you have in there. But in terms of the application development, we are supreme in terms of creating UI5 applications with no code and low code, and the ability to embed that into the ACP Fiori Launchpad, or ability to now integrate standard ACP applications into our mobile client. And that's something that is something that we have rolled out to key customers that have requested that. As you all know, ACP Fiori Launchpad was discontinued. The mobile client was discontinued. The Fiori mobile client was discontinued by SAP, and we have the ability to run embedded into our mobile client standard Fiori apps from SAP. So if there is like a capsule plugin that's being utilized in there with, for example, scanning or location, etc., by running the standard app, no code changes on the standard app embedded into our mobile client, we will intercept the request for that, and we will utilize our Cordova-based plugins in order to provide that information that the standard app requests. So scan button on the standard Fiori application, that will trigger the Cordova plugin in Neptune, and Neptune will feed that back. So you can make the standard Fiori applications mobile apps with Neptune with mobile capabilities, and that's out of the box as well. So if you want more information on that, ping us, we can provide you this. This is an item that's going to be on the marketplace as well very soon, so that you can actually leverage on that. Then you have the no-code applications with UI-driven and metadata-driven applications, and that's kind of important where you're talking about annotation, CDS views, and kind of the new way of interacting or enhancing ACP systems. So we are plugging in directly into that, and I'll show you that live. And this is both with the app builder, which is UI driven, so you build UI, our adaptive apps, where you build basically applications on top of the metadata. And then we have come with something completely new that is essential if you're building a solutions on top of Neptune and you want to standardize components. You can do, for example, think of all headers of your applications. If you want them to be the same header, you can now have a header that is a custom component. So it's not a custom UI5 component. It's on the app designer. You can create a type of app that is custom component. You define the interface of that application, and that custom component will be inherited by all of the other apps that are utilizing it. But when you change the parent, the custom component itself, the new functionality that you add there will be automatically inherited by all other applications. And of course, you can have custom components inside custom components. So think of how many operations and changes, if you're going to have hundreds of applications made with Neptune, which many customers have done it. This will help you to actually reduce the amount of operations that you need to do when you need to upgrade something, when you need to add more functionality. Let's say I want Excel export into all of my applications. You put that on the header is a custom component. You apply that custom component to all apps, and you have one single place where that functionality is maintained. And then when you fix something, when you announce something, it's automatically inherited. And of course, all of this goes through the development package that goes through Git, that therefore can be easily deployed and managed. So what does this mean overall? CI/CD foundation is reusability of UI and business logic at scale. The same thing with reusable and component UI fragments. That's basically the custom components. The marketplace, what does this mean? You have solutions where you can build and buy because the market is there. You have better experience for developers and for end users. So we have high standards for the UI with Horizon theme. We're packaging everything with 1.108 UI5 release version, both on open UI5 as well as SAP UI5, therefore SAP edition and open edition. We have event-driven architecture that enables you to be not just have asynchronous calls, but synchronous throughout tracing to events. You have no-code applications with a very strong part of it with business key users together with IT creating end-to-end solutions. And all of it is what you have today. If you don't know what you have today, we're here to tell you as well what we'll have tomorrow. And also on that point, the Neptune DXP add-ons. You have a feedback framework that allows, for example, to capture the screen of a launchpad so that the end user can report an issue, take annotation on top of the picture, given a comment, send out that. That's now a out-of-the-box add-on that you can add through an announcement on your launchpad. So you don't need to create it. You can just reutilize this. You have the Neptune forms, which I'll show you in a minute. You have content management with Microsoft Azure Blob. And this will also be incorporated throughout 23 on the DXP 23, or maybe before on a patch that the media library on the open edition will not be hosted directly on the database, but can be hosted on Microsoft Azure Blob as well. And then we have, of course, the adaptive framework templates that continuously evolve. We have 8 templates now. The DXP Open Edition Launchpad is also updated through the marketplace as it was before on the store. Now on the marketplace, you have this more is in there as an add-on, but you also have the external systems connection bundle, which is a big name for something that is really, really cool. So Neptune more than ever is making it easy for people to connect to different systems and incorporate them into Neptune so that you can have a strategy that is based on utilizing what you have and not having to reinvent the wheel every single time. So speaking of add-ons, we have the Neptune forms. You can see them here a little bit in action. Of course, we have dark mode and light mode. This is the main goal is to empower business key users to create forms. These forms can be utilized inside the adaptive framework, meaning that on no code you can have a form that is separated from there, and you can intertwine the two things together. Also, you can do the forms for data capture, so the forms will handle the data capture part of it. So it's not just UI you're creating a way for you to capture data and keeping the data. The use cases are extreme on this: equipment inspection, checklists, safety inspections, measuring points, inventory counting, stock operations, production line, supplier audits, quality control, compliance audits, and more. This is all done through the marketplace, as I said. How does this look like? For example, is that we have, where is that? And here I am. So if I go here to forms, I have here the add-on Forms Designer. For example, I open here the form in here. Here I can design my form. I have here the hierarchy of the form. I can simulate devices, so everything is responsive. And for example, I can plug in here value helps that are coming from other systems and from applications that are adaptive apps. You can create new components. You can just go into edit mode, change, add elements, and I want, for example, here to add a image upload, for example, save image upload. I can try it immediately here. I can put it here, a picture, for example, in there. If I want to add here a new element that is a data value picker, I can have my properties here on the right-hand side, where I can define which object attribute and which adaptive framework application do I want to get my data from it. And here in this case, I'm getting a adaptive framework that is coming with data that is coming from OData. So I want my customer name. So when I save in here, automatically I get my, and here I want customer, like this, save customer. So my search help is actually a adaptive framework application. So when I click on it, we'll say power plant, and automatically gives the value. So it's very easy to intertwine things and also to create applications that are easy to be utilized. And of course, you can embed this into the low code on the app designer. You can embed this into the adaptive framework, and then you can embed this fundamentally everywhere. So this will keep the version, this will keep the data, and we'll keep an instance of the data as well as when you change or evolve the form. So we have also content available on this. You have explanations on the marketplace as well. It tells you how to use it, which use cases you should use it, and you have as well videos on it on our YouTube channel. And I believe we have here a question. They can be used inside the adaptive framework. Yes, correct. And you have a question here saying, did the forms be used inside the adaptive framework? I thought they must be used inside the adaptive framework. Yes, they must be used inside the adaptive framework, but also you have a code snippet that tells you how can you embed this form into the app designer. So that works as well out of the box. Then we have in here, going back to here, you have also all of these connectors. And let's use here an example for a connector, example for Salesforce, where you can go into here opportunities. You can see the fields that are coming from Salesforce, and you can change the table, the data. It shows you when a field has references and allows you to expand the references and use that metadata directly from salesforce.com. But also the same thing happens with OData, where you can actually get the OData. So if I add here OData test system, and put it here, a system that is S4. And here will show me all of the OData services that are available in there, both custom as well as standard. And when you select, you can select the entity set and therefore which operations will it support. And how does it look like is that when you add this connector, this adds you as a connector when you establish this. When you go to the adaptive framework, you can add the connector directly in here. You add the fields, which allow you to, for example, do a BI-based application and automatically being able to see the data. You can mock up the data. For enough example, I want here this by company code as a row, so I can see by company code. So when I change this to a column percentage chart, this will tell me by company code. Let's say I want the customer name to be the column. Now this works better if it's actually the company code to be the column. So by company code, I can have it like this. But of course, if you do the template for list, here is the list of that OData. But because it's OData with annotations, it's very easy. For example, for when you put in here that it's a company code field, it will get automatically, and you see value help OData as a type. So when you select it, this will now get the value help from OData directly from the annotations and the CDS view that is underneath this. So out of the box, you get what could be seen as kind of a Neptune elements, because it is utilizing directly the annotations and the OData components straight out of the source in order to enabling you to actually create easily applications using no code out of the box. And also, we have available Azure plugins. So everyone knows that everyone utilizes Azure a lot. How can we actually have Azure embedded into Neptune? Very easy. So if I go here into my Azure integration cockpit, for example, if I open here, I can have my email embedded. I can have my OneDrive, I can have my SharePoint, and on my SharePoint, if I look for BPM, for example, this will search my entire SharePoint extremely quickly and give me the data in there. Why would you use this? For example, think of a plant maintenance scheduling app where you have the ability to select the person, select the date for which it is available, and it will tell you which is the available date, and you can assign directly to the person. You can assign within approval, and this will then integrate with Microsoft Teams. So this is also available on the marketplace today, which you can leverage on. And the adaptive no-code framework, as I showed you, it's more than ever customizable, interconnected, responsive applications that now leverage on the connectors. And I'll remind you that the connectors are at the moment OData connectors, Salesforce connectors, ServiceNow connectors, HANA database connector, and also other database connections directly in here. So you can actually have out of the box ability to generate applications on top of it with having to do absolutely no code for it. That's one thing, but also we are coming now in the upcoming 2 weeks with something that we call the Neptune surveys. I'll show you here what is a Neptune survey. So let me just open this on the Chrome browser using my authentication here. And on the Neptune surveys, I can actually have in here Neptune surveys, and I can define my groups. I can open here my survey, so I can create a survey, can add a survey, single choice, multiple choice, net promoter score. This can look like this. This was internal survey that we ran. This will allow to identify groups of users, and then when you send out the survey automatically collects all the responses and gives you a report over the answers of the responses of all the users. Gives you as well an ability to see who has submitted, who has responded, who has opened and hasn't submitted, and also gives you a preview of how that survey would look like to the end users, like this. So this will automatically, you can say as a protected survey, you can send it as an anonymous survey directly from the platform, and this will integrate with SMTP server settings on the Open Edition to send this out. This will be available with a video and explanation on the upcoming 2 weeks on the marketplace. And in the end, the connectors are a big thing, as well as the adaptive framework. And this is all available today, but what's coming? And what's coming is that we're going to add more and more things to the as an add-on. We're going to be able to serve you directly this kind of features straight from the marketplace, and other things that we're working on. The word of the day is AI with OpenAI GPT-4 integration. So on the upcoming patch of Open Edition, this will be embedded into the product. And we're gonna go, I'm gonna start with the lowest hanging fruit, which is code assistance. So on script editor, on app designer, you're gonna have availability of ChatGPT-4 as a co-pilot. It will be, no data will be actually retrieved from your system. You have system settings where you can add your own key for OpenAI, so that you can utilize your own models if you want to as well. And therefore, this is not something that is automatically enabled. You have to enable it with your own key. And this is coming very, very soon to the market. We're going to conduct very soon a survey on the community as well to see what other ideas are out there in terms of utilization of the OpenAI, and we are very active thinking very deep on how can we leverage on this new offering to make our developer community more productive, making sure that, for example, you can I would like a JavaScript function to tell me which day is today, for example, typical search people do on Stack Overflow and stuff like that. You can have that embedded into your application, directly embedded into your server script, and therefore should make it much easier for you to create code faster and within the context. So it will know the Neptune functions potentially. So give you also context on that. We're looking what are the possibilities here, and this is what's gets us excited for 2023 throughout the year. More ACP BTP services out of the box, identity provider, I said, integration layer, export to Business Studio, work zone, all of it, ability to connect to reutilize those services directly together with the services of Neptune. And then, of course, a lot of new things on the marketplace with more solutions, more add-on, and in the future, premium solutions as well available in there. We are looking how we are going to make that possible to make available, but we can evolve the marketplace as well very quickly to be able to offer to our customer base and our partner base what they actually need, not tomorrow, but today. So our presentation is over. I would like to now go for the QA part, where I would love to hear from you more questions that you might have on Neptune, so that we can answer them here right now. And at the end of the session, I'll leave the session open for a little bit more so that you can ask questions. You are more than welcome as well to go to our community and ask questions there. We'll be happy to answer. Okay, the question is, hi, just a question about Neptune roadmap. It's about event-driven architecture in Neptune. For the Open Edition, we can use Redis. What about event architecture in ACP edition? Now that the about push channels is not on the ACP roadmap anymore, BTP Mesh replaces this functionality. Well, we have successfully been able to connect and utilize the ACP BTP event mesh directly between the ACP edition and or between the ECC or S4 system using the cloud connector and ACP mesh, and then we can register, we can get events, and we can be triggered from the ACP mesh what's happening. So so that this will then connect to Redis, and then on Redis you can basically do everything. So yes, this is coming very soon as a explanation of how should you set up and what can you consume. That will come very soon. We're also looking into how can we make this as seamless as possible for our customer base, and this is something that we are successfully doing, and very quickly we'll bring that over to market. There's more questions coming in. Does one need Microsoft Power Platform connectors to integrate to the Power Apps, or all you need is APIs? What I showed you there, we are just utilizing Azure APIs. This is not utilizing, you don't need to have Microsoft Power Platform connectors to do that. You can just do that out of the box with the Azure APIs, and that's what's published on the marketplace already now. We have, for example, a calendar as well that allows for a manager, for example, to have access to all the team calendar and see it, and that's just purely utilizing APIs. What you're going to need Power Platform, it's called Power Flows, I believe, is, for example, for creation of integration cards that you can have it on your email, for example, as well as on Teams, that you need some services from Azure in order to achieve that. We've been just featured very recently on the Microsoft webinar on the Power Platform. Because of that, basically unleashing the power of ACP, or the business process of ACP, together with the Power Platform through our API factory, and therefore there are a number of limited service that you need to have, but that's also described on the marketplace. So feel free to go to the marketplace and see it. There's here a question into are there any changes or updates to extension framework? No, the extension framework in the ACP edition is stable as far as we know, and that's being utilized into many of the solutions, premium solutions that our partners have. If you have other experiences, feel free to utilize our support channel on support.neptune/software.com, and in there you should be posting if there's an issue that you find. You'll be happy to look at it and give you some quick responses as well. The extension framework is coming to the open edition. That is something that we have strongly considered as well, because if you're going to have solutions that are based on the open edition, the extension framework would allow you to have specifications per specific customer. We're considering it. It's not on the plan for 23, but it is something definitely that we are looking into as well. Let's see if there is more questions. Are there any plans to plug in into ACP Build? Well, ACP Build and Build Apps specifically is fundamentally a ACP converting AppGyver into their naming conventions and then making it into a package that is consolidated with some flows and with the work zone as well. In terms of the apps itself, no, there is no plan. the applications there are not Fiori, they are React-based applications. And actually that tooling only enables you to edit, it doesn't enable you to edit the applications itself. The applications only run on that runtime. They can't even be taken over to the Business Studio. So in a way, it is a one-way street. And Neptune is more focused on providing a more seamless experience between the no-code and low-code and vice versa than actually locking in customers into doing things just in one way. So what we do with Neptune is through Fiori. It's UI5 based, therefore can be exported into the Business Studio, into BTP, can run side by side on the SAP Fiori Launchpad as a UI5 application, therefore as a Fiori application, and therefore we are the best fit for purpose for a solution for any SAP customer that is utilizing SAP BTP or not utilizing SAP BTP. Okay, there seems to be, I'll leave it open. We're scheduled for 45 minutes. This is a little bit already over time, so I'll leave the session open for a little bit more. If you have more questions, feel free to ask there. You have also my email, and I'm also available on the community. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any more questions. I would like to thank you all for attending this webinar, and hopefully you get a lot of value from this information. So please upgrade. It's free. Get to the DXP22. We will get you to the DXP23 end of the year. Meanwhile, we have the add-on framework to bring you a lot of value right now to your runtime, and we are looking forward to hear what kind of add-ons would you actually need in order to help you with your business cases. Having that said, thank you and have a good Friday as well as a good weekend.